I never planned on becoming a father. Honestly, I liked my quiet life. But everything changed on an ordinary Tuesday when I got a call about Dave. We'd worked together for years. Not best friends, but we'd grab drinks sometimes and argue about sports. So when I found out he had named me the guardian of his 12-year-old daughter Sophie, I was stunned. Never mentioned it, and I wasn't even sure I was capable of raising a kid. The day Sophie moved into my apartment was painfully awkward. She stood in the doorway clutching her backpack, eyes fixed on the floor. She barely spoke. The first few weeks were the same. Silent, no eye contact, just tension hanging in the air. I wasn't great with people either. I was a software engineer used to routine, solitude, and zero emotional responsibility. I tried small things, ordering pizza, buying art supplies, leaving snacks on the table, hoping something would break the ice. Nothing worked. Then one night, around 2 a.m., I heard quiet crying from her room. I found her sitting on the bed holding an old photo album. She didn't notice me at first. I didn't say anything. I just sat next to her. We stayed like that until the sun came up. It didn't fix everything, but it changed something. School didn't go smoothly. On her first day, she had a panic attack. The school called me and I left work immediately. For 2 weeks, I sat in the parking lot during school hours so she'd know I was nearby. My boss warned me it might hurt my chances at promotion. For the first time, that didn't matter. For her birthday, I planned a simple night. Cake, dinner, a couple of gifts, but she quietly told me her dad used to take her stargazing. That meant a long drive out of the city. I hate night driving and wide open spaces make me anxious, but I agreed. Under a sky full of stars, Sophie finally opened up. She told stories about her dad, funny ones, sad ones, little memories. I realized I was grieving too, even though he wasn't family to me in the traditional sense. Somehow, sharing that moment made us feel like one. At her school talent show, she froze on stage, staring at an empty chair where her dad would have been. I walked up and whispered, "I'm right here." Then I sat in the front row. Later, she told me her dad gave that exact phrase. A few months later, I got a dream job offer in another state. At the same time, we had to leave the apartment. I turned down the job and bought a small house nearby so Sophie wouldn't lose her school and friends. Ability mattered more than ambition. Then David's estranged parents showed up asking for custody. Sophie overheard them calling her a burden and she shut down again. I hired a lawyer and fought for her. In court, I admitted something I hadn't said out loud before. I loved her like my own child. On the anniversary of her moving in, I had a rough night thinking about my parents' accident. I broke down alone. A few minutes later, Sophie knocked and brought 2 mugs of hot chocolate. She sat beside me quietly, the same way I once sat with her. She handed me a card that said, "Thank you for choosing." When the adoption became official, she chose to hyphenate her last name to honor both me and her dad. At the courthouse, she hugged me and whispered, "Family is who stays when you feel lost." That's when I realized I didn't choose adoption. Adoption chose me.